초콜릿은 달콤해 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 오렌지는 상큼해 상큼해 상큼해.
Hi everyone, this is Anna. Welcome to this channel, the Flatfoot Vlogs. Today I am going to share with you my CR1 US visa interview experience and the questions that were asked and the tips. My CR1 visa interview was on July 10, 2023 at 7:30 in the morning. We stayed at a City Garden Manila hotel. It is just 12 minutes away from the US Embassy. We left at 5:30 a.m. at the hotel. Naglalakad lang kami patungong US Embassy. So, when we arrive at the US Embassy, it is like at 5:42 a.m. and there were already people there, like a long line already, 2 lines. There were 2 lines. The 2 lines is for different visas. On the left side, it is for the spousal visa or the petitioned visa, like fiance, CR1 visa, IR1 visa, and a family petition visa. And on the right side, it is for the working visa and for the tourist visa. So, I fell in line on the left side and wait for my schedule, which is at 7:30 a.m. because the very first schedule is available is the 6:30 a.m. So people that has 6:30 a.m. interview, the when first there, the fall in line first. And then when it was open at 8, the guard says, "Oh, it's okay now to proceed to the next entrance." So to the next line, it is there are Filipinos that will check your passport and the DS-260 form. You have to show your passport and the 260 form, and then they will put sticker on your passport for which set will you be. So like mine is set A. So when you go inside, you will just go directly to the seat A. There are chairs there, and you have to sit there and wait for your turn to be called, and or else their staff will tell you what to do next. Like they will say, "Oh, you can proceed now to window 30." I went to the window 30, and it is a Filipino interviewer that will just check your civil documents. So when I was there, you can sit down there and they will talk to you about your documents. And I was so nervous when they mentioned my birth certificate and asked me about the name of my parents, because there were error of the name of my dad and mom. Like my dad's name is Ronaldo, but it doesn't have O in my birth certificate. And the name of my mom is like Anna Faye. It's supposedly 1 N, but in my birth certificate it's 2 N. And she said, "You have to correct this next time, so when you can petition your parents, it's just easy for you to process the documents." And I said, "Oh, thank you for telling me that, and I will do that next time." Then second step is fingerprinting. After you were checked, after your documents were checked, you will proceed to another line, and it is for the fingerprinting. And the Filipino interviewer there she's so kind, she is so gentle, Like she just asks you questions, and like how are you, or just put your finger, can you hold your finger straight, like that. And she is so kind. And after the fingerprinting, it is for the interview already. So you have to line again to the next step. Like you have to wait for the console that they will open their windows. Yeah. And after a few minutes, they are already open, like 4 console are already open. And then they started calling names for the interview. And next is like, when they called my name, they will say Anna Ray Trico, window 10. So they will call your name and also the window that you're going to, so you will know where to go. So it is time for that interview. So when I went to the window, it is a male interviewer. He looks like a tough man, very strict face, but finally he smiles. Like he said, "Good morning, how are you?" And then I just smile too and be confident. Even inside, it's really nervous. I was so nervous, but I just tried to relax and smile and be confident. And then his first question is, how old are you? And yeah, I said I'm 26 years old. So when you answer the questions, you have to answer that in complete sentence. For example, they ask me, how old are you? You have to answer it, I am 26 years old. So it will be more respectful and more polite to them. And next question is, how many people live in your husband's house? So I said, for currently it's like 2 people, his son and my husband, and when I'm there it would be 3. So he just smiled, but then it was like, it's kind of anxious when he do the gestures, like wandering and looking at the computer. He's looking at the computer and look at me, and then like thinking about something, and just like doing like this. Okay. So next question, when did you get married? So he's like that. So he asked me, when did we get married? I said, we got married on November 19th, 2021. And he said, where did you get married? I answered, we got married online. And he just smiled at me, and he asked me to see the Utah marriage license or certificate. It is from Utah County because we got married online. So I showed it to you. That's the only one civil documents that he asked aside from my passport. Yeah. And then after that, it's just like 6 questions, my age, and also my husband's job. I said my husband's job is a general contractor in California. Where did you get married and when did you get married? Like 2, 4, I like 5 questions only. And then after I show the marriage license from Utah, he just paused for a few seconds, and I thought that I'm gonna, reject it. And then he just said, okay, like he's checking on his computer, like the data or the information that you sent to them, they will check that. And then after that, he handed me the paper. It's a paper that talks about domestic violence. And I remember because I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, like the tips and about how to, how to answer questions for the visa interview. And then I remember that they mentioned that once they give you the domestic violence, paper, it means that you are approved. So inside myself, I'm talking to myself like, am I already approved? And then I'm so happy inside, but I'm not sure because he didn't say yet that I'm already approved. And then he just returned the marriage license, the documents that I presented to him. And then he said, okay, I'm gonna take your passport and here's your documents, and because your visa is approved. You can get your passport back at 1 or 2 weeks. And then I just smiled and said, thank you so much. And I take all my documents with me, and then I went out and I asked because I was so happy and I don't know where to go. So, and then I also have problem for the delivery address for my passport because I put online, like I said that online, that I'm gonna pick up that in Mall of Asia, the LBC Mall of Asia, but then my plane ticket going back to Cebu is not a week longer, so I need to go back right away because I don't need to spend more money. So I asked the staff there, like, how can I change the delivery address for my passport? And then she said, you can just email the embassy about that. So I'm just, okay, thank you. And then she said, okay, you can go out now. And okay, I went out, and then for the whole day I was so stressful because I need to change the delivery address. What if they will send it to the Mall of Asia? Then I'm already in Cebu, so I need to go back to Manila. But then after that, during the day, I asked my husband how to do this, and he said, oh, you call them, you need to call them, or you need to email them. But I already emailed them, and then they just said, oh, they will reply in 5 days. I was trying to find ways. I searched online, and then they said, you can change your delivery address. You have to go to the portal, like which you make an account for the US Embassy. It is the portal for setting a schedule for your interview. I'm gonna talk that in the next video. I hope you followed me and subscribe my channel. I changed the address to Pacific Mall Mandawi, City, Cebu. So after a week, I got my passport. I got a text from the LBC that you have to get your documents. So when I go to the LBC, it's my passport. And now I am here in the USA. Okay, for the tips and answer any questions during the interview in the US Embassy, here are the tips. First and foremost is to pray every day. You have to pray. You have to light candles to all the saints and to Mama Mary, and it not just for your visa approval, for everything. You have to pray for everything that will go well. Second tip is, in answering the question, you have to answer that clearly, with louder voice, with clear pronunciations, and answer the question in complete sentence. Because some of the consuls are very strict. they want you to answer that clearly, like, because for them it is more respectful and more polite. Next, yes, you have to smile and be confident. Just relax during the interview. Just focus on the questions that you studied, and the next tip too is you have to study the questions, all the possible questions that you search on the internet, to watch YouTube, because there are people who are sharing their experience. The last and the very important too is to organize your documents. When I went there, I bring this expanded envelope, and at the top I labeled them, so when they ask me, can I have your birth certificate, so you know where you put it, so you will just get it directly and just give it to them. Because in the first step, where they will check your documents, they will ask you some questions like, when is your birth date, what is your birthplace, when was your husband born, like that, and what is your husband's address. You have to memorize their address, like the street name, the number, and the drive name, something like that. And also the phone number of your husband and your phone number. They will just check if it's like they have the right information about you, about all the documents that you submitted online. Yeah. And also, guys, before you go inside to the embassy, you need someone to be with you, so you can leave your gadgets to them. Or if you go alone there, you have to pay someone there, because there are vendors, like they're just waiting for someone like you to pay them, so you can leave your gadgets like phones, iPads, laptops to them, because it is not allowed to bring gadgets inside, and also it is not allowed to bring food and water inside the embassy. If you have someone with you, it is so easy for you to just leave your things or your gadgets and foods or whatsoever to them. Because when I went there, I have my aunt with me, and I just leave my my water bottle and my phone to my aunt. That's all for today, and I hope that all of those can help you, and I will continue to make videos about the CR1 visa or the spousal visa, and I will share all the possible questions in the next video, and how to process the CR1 visa from the beginning, like from the USCIS to NVC and to the medical examination to the port of entry here in the USA. So I want you to please subscribe and like and share to my channel, and I hope that I help you. Thank you.